Hey guys, welcome to my newest video for today, and today's video is going to be an installment of Let's Go to the Movies, and today's movie review is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and I went and saw it in 3D, and basically, wow. I think that's the best way I can use to describe it. I loved everything about this movie. Like, you just sort of like going through a bundle of different emotions, like excited for a new movie, sad to see it go, I guess nostalgic for when the series first came out. Like, it was just a weird sensation going to see the final Harry Potter movie, and like when I was just like waiting for the movie to start, I was in the cinema, and it was like that feeling when I first went and saw Philosopher's Stone, or like 10 years ago, so. But everything about this film was, I guess, magical in the thing. Like, it had the blend of action, it had drama, it had like humor, and it all worked together. Like, because there's so much awesomeness in this movie. Like the Battle of Hogwarts, it was just as epic as I'd hoped it would be, because the battle was my favourite part in the book, and because I was like, you know, kind of nervous that maybe it wouldn't live up to what it was in the book, but it really did justice to the that whole scene, and it didn't feel like 2 hours had gone, basically. So it kind of just, the time just flew by, and which is always good in a movie, because then you don't feel like it's going too long, but it had the right pacing. Yeah, just everything about this movie was fantastic, and yeah, it was yeah, and it's actually like kind of hard to believe that like I've all seven movies are out, and yeah, that there's no more Harry Potter to look forward to, essentially. I mean, aside from when Deathly Hallows Part 2 comes out on Blu-ray, then you can re-watch it, but yeah, it's been sort of like a mix of emotions, but the cast, it was fantastic. They all worked to make this both minor and major characters all worked well, and yeah, I loved everything about this movie, as I mentioned, because I'm starting to get a bit rambly, but and yeah, there's just and because also I saw it in 3D, so and 3D worked wonders. Like, I'm really glad I went and saw the 3D version, because I mentioned I was disappointed with the 3D effects in Pirates 4, so I was a bit nervous to see how it would go, but it was spot on. Everything, the 3D actually really helped make the movie even more spectacular than what it was, especially the dragons when they're in Gringotts, and going down to the vault and then the dragon scene, and it was all it was awesome. Basically, and yeah, it was so essentially a 10 out of 10, because this was my most anticipated movie of 2011, and it exceeded all of my expectations, and yeah, and also, as I mentioned, the Battle of Hogwarts was my favourite part, and yeah, so I'm sort of a bit of loss for words really, but because I also loved like the humour that was spread throughout it. Like, it wasn't like I guess like it was subtle, like the humour, it wasn't forced, because like it's like with Maggie Smith in like McGonagall, like her when she cast the spell to protect Hogwarts, and she was, and how she goes, I always wanted to do that spell, and how like giddy she was when she said that, like it just worked the way she delivered that line. And then and when like all the students had been called to the hall, when they were like Snape was telling them that Harry Potter had been sighted, and then it was like after everything, like and then Filch came, like right at the end, Filch came running in saying, students out of bed, and all the students are in the hall, and McGonagall just looks at him and goes, the students are supposed to be out of bed. I just love that scene. The scene in the room of requirements with the fire, and how the trio goes back to rescue Draco, and Ron screaming at Harry is like, if we die because of saving him, I'm going to kill you. Like, I'm going to kill you. That was gold. And yeah, and also the like when they're preparing the like to defend Hogwarts, and McGonagall gives Neville and the other students like an assignment with the thing, and he's like, and they can't believe they've been allowed to actually like I guess do all the blowing up stuff, like with the explosions, and she goes, I think it's like I seem to, like, as I understand it, Seamus has quite a knack for pyrotechnics, like with all the blowing up and that, and but yeah, it was just like great acting by all the cast, as I mentioned, and it had, because in the the battle when Molly Weasley confronts Bellatrix, she said the line, which I was so happy, because again, that was one of my favourite moments in the book, when she says, "Not my daughter, you bitch," and that got quite a few cheers as well in the audience at the session I was at, but yeah, everything about this movie just worked, and it's Deathly Hallows has become my favourite movie. I'm combining both together, because Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, yeah, it knocked Prisoner of Azkaban off my favourite movie, but yeah, it was yeah, it's just trying to explain it in words how awesome this movie was, but yeah, it's because especially when it was in the last few minutes of the movie and it came up 19 years later, you just, well, like, it kind of was like you got a chill when you sort of saw 19 years later, because you knew it was the final few minutes. But it was, yeah, it's just really hard to believe that it's all over now. And yeah, it was, and seeing like because I mean, as I mentioned before, I actually quite liked the epilogue, and like I was quite, because it was kind of like, in a way, wanted to see the end, to see how they did the 19 years later, but at the same time you didn't want it to come, because then that would mean it would be the end of the film. And but it was just such an amazing film experience, like because it was like people were clapping and cheering at certain points, and even though I clapped at the end because it was fitting, but like when Ron and Hermione like kissed for the first time, and there's a few whistles in the audience, and then so I heard someone say it's about time in the thing, but it was actually quite a fun experience, like, because normally I try to avoid opening week, well, not so much weekends, but the opening days of the film, because like I know, especially for a film like Harry Potter, it's going to be packed, but because I'd bought my ticket and I actually bought food from home, because like when I got there, because my session was at 10, and by the time I got up to the movies, it was like 20 to 10, and where the like for our one you have like sections like to rope off the lines and that, and when I joined the line it was at that point, so basically it was moving out towards the door, which when I came out and so the line was there for the next session, and the line was virtually at the door, which I think the last time I was actually waiting in a line was when I went to the midnight showing of Revenge of the Sith. But because I would have liked to have gone to the midnight showing, because I reckon that would have been fun, but I had no way of getting there or coming home, and so I settled for the next best session, which was the very first one when it opened. But yeah, it's but yeah, I kind of think I've covered basically everything I wanted to mention. But yeah, basically Harry Potter, amazing. Definitely recommend seeing in the theatres. Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, this one is incredible. And yeah, so I guess that's essentially it. So until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye.